All right, over to you, Ray. This week, two former investigative reporters for the Tribune, they made headlines for their work at the Cook County Treasurer's Office. Fill us in.
Yeah, it's really a remarkable thing. Maria Pappas has hired Todd Leidy and Hal Dardick, and she has turned them loose on her office, basically. And she had them focus on something that has the arcane name of sales in air. And what that basically...
Sales in error? Yeah. What is that, Ray?
Oh, thank you.
Can you
explain
it to us?
Thank you so much. I've been working on this for my PhD.
You've got your term paper here,
You went to class last night.
Well, basically in theory, and let me just cite the article here that was done in the Trib. Tax sales are supposed to be beneficial, right? And governments are supposed to get money back from these tax sales, but people don't pay their taxes. Others look to invest in it. And this has become a kind of cottage industry among people who are not really doing what the law should be doing, which is to help government get their money from the tax rolls. And what is happening is big investors, including private equity firms and hedge funds, are buying up properties that are delinquent on their taxes, and then when the people who owe the taxes don't pay for a while, they owe interest, and then basically a lot of these investors then scoop up the interest, and then the people pay their overall tax bill and they get their property back. But it's turned into a major snafu. And what has happened is that they've figured out how to wiggle out of some of these purchases, and there are hundreds of millions over the last 7 years that have not gone to local property tax entities like your school, like your local government, like your libraries, like your fire departments. And so Pappas is now calling for some reforms that could shore that up so that there's less leakage from the property tax bills.
Boy, that was complicated. So tax buyers, they can get out of a property tax purchase for clerical errors too? Like, so if your street name is misspelled, for instance?
Yes. They've tried to do that and tried to wiggle out, and there have been numerous examples of how they've been able to do that so that they don't have to get stuck with a property, et cetera.
Yeah. But one thing I'm interested in with this story is just that idea of investigative reporters being hired by government officials to do work like this. Is that common for journalists to do that?
Well, I think journalism is going through this big change right now, where in the Tribune's case, we're bought by a hedge fund, and there were opportunities to leave or opportunities to go to better pay. And in some cases, some Tribune reporters have taken buyouts. I can't remember if Todd and Hal did, but the reality is that they used their incredible skills. I miss them every day. And they were able to get an inside look that reporters would never get if they were going up to any public office and trying to get a deep dive. And they were able to do a super deep dive because they had the cooperation of the office.
Yeah. Jacoby and Tina, I mean, newsroom employment has actually declined by more than a quarter since 2008, if you can believe that. That's numbers from the Pew Research Center. And I wonder if you think that we'll see this sort of thing happening, where journalists are just applying their skills to other jobs moving forward.
I mean, there definitely seems like opportunities, even just in my short time getting on this side of the glass of Chicago's media landscape.
True, yeah.
I've already seen people move from organizations, move out of journalism. And so people want to feel valued. They want to feel like their work is, not simply for a headline that someone might skip over, a headline that they themselves may not have even written. So I know, people are looking for opportunities. Like my man Evan Moore would tell me, I'm trying to check that bag too.
Yeah. What do you think, Tina? What have you been seeing around you?
Well, I do think just like a lot of professions, the pandemic changed a lot of the journalism landscape. People did leave their jobs. I did. I came back to my old job very happily. So people kind of took a look at their life to see like, what do you want to do? Who do you want to be with? I have a coworker tell me they appreciate me once a week. This is like a real story. So, I mean, you go to a workplace where you feel appreciated. So
Yeah.
you might see people jumping around to find that.